It's the 90s, we're in Sweden, and there's killer robots. We begin in the middle of a robot apocalypse where my inner Luke Goblin is given so much free reign that I get completely distracted by boomboxes and forget that I'm here to destroy robots. Music is for distracting robots, but I will drop radios just to listen to the music, and you can't stop me.
Huh? Ouch!
Huh? We eventually do shoot some robots though, and that's pretty cool too, because I see the number 9. Does that mean I have 9 HP?
Yeah.
The plot wants us to find some living human people and figure out where the robots came from and why they're attacking. But I'll be honest, I just like running around, picking up everything that isn't nailed down and shooting some robobots. But the place we started is in the middle of nowhere, so we gotta find where the action is at. The first safe house is a nearby church, but there's a group of robot dogs guarding the premise. Since we were still learning combat, we snuck around a lot, tried to throw things at them, and I mostly panicked and did dumb things like running up to hit robots with a baseball bat, you know, while they were shooting at me. Inside the church, we find our first living human person. He's basically the guide and quest giver, pointing out where to go next to uncover the mystery of the robot attack. Following her directions, we hit place to place and set up several safe houses, including conquering our first couple of bunkers, one of which was filled with gas. Turns out wearing a gas mask doesn't really protect you from gas much. While looking at the map, we get curious about the small area we passed by earlier and decide to check it out. After we clear the area, it turns out the next quest we pick up sends us right back, immediately, and we're forced to retrace our steps, which made us feel kinda silly. Run for it! My bike's scoring bananas! Night falls soon after, and while we're on our way to the next location, we found a picnic area that was a bit spooky.
I can hear spooky noises.
I can hear spooky noises also. There's even a candle.
Get out of here before the ghosts get us.
We decide to call it a day and crawl into a nearby church for safety for the night. We crawled because there was something outside the church. 2 somethings. You see, when you defeat enough robots, named robots will appear somewhere in the region, and they get stronger and stronger. And one of those robots are outside the church we had snuck into for the night. But when we poke our heads out from the window to take a look at our boss man, we see something else. A big something else. While spying on the large legs mecha, we discover there was also a large spider mecha too. Naturally, we gotta try destroying all of them. The name bots, the legs mecha, the spider bot, we gotta throw fireworks at all of them and see what happens. The first one we go for is the named bot, but Emiko wanted to try a little test with a little bot he's got. I was honestly surprised. The little lad had a lot of explosive power, taking out 2 named bots with only 1 explosion. Of course, the bigger bots wouldn't be so easy. Legs and Spider pass by each other and go their own ways, so we hit Spider thinking it might have less firepower between the 2.
Oh my god! They hurt a lot.
We play peekaboo with the spider mech using a house as cover, since bullets and missiles can't go through structures, only to discover they can shoot gas at you, which most definitely does go through structures. After enough hits, Spider falls, and we decide to have a little fun with legs by ramming into it with our vehicles. The ramming feels like it does nothing, but I'm sure it did something. If nothing else, it was fun. I tried the peekaboo strategy again, this time hiding behind a silo.
Silo's doing good work.
Until Emiko dies. When I run to go res him, I'm in a panic from the missiles flying at me. I could have just shot the robot one more time, and then res Emiko, and then I wouldn't have had to panic so hard.
Oh shit, you killed it. Nice.
That one shot did it. I guess I could have just shot him one more time before getting you. By the way, turns out there's also a companion workstation, and you can build a robot doggo pet. I named mine Senor Turbo Nacho, and I was immediately attached to it for life. It is the goodest doggo. We also got some weird bikes we decided to experiment with. Like this one has a platform on it, so Emiko jumped on the front to see if he could ride it while I drive. Let's fucking go! It works perfectly for drive-by shootings. You should turn around rapidly right now.
Yo! That's what happens when I spin.
While messing around, there were a couple bugs we came across. One was some kind of jumping issue where I couldn't jump very high. Can't jump over the white picket fence. Can't jump over the white picket fence. When I reset my game, the issue was fixed, but the enemies respawned and we found ourselves sandwiched between 2 of them giant leg-styled mechs. Another issue was at the ring fort in a mission called Tidal Wave. At first, the mission would fail every single time we started it. We fully expected to be unable to progress the main story because of this. But I did finally get it working when I went back to solo mode. So thankfully, I was able to advance the story. The next mission sent us to hunt down some named targets, where I mostly served as a distraction because dang, these boys be thick in the health bar. Taking them out was to get some armor and a snowplow to fortify a truck. Apparently there is one truck, but I saw 2 trucks. This game is crazy. Also, the snowplow being added is hilarious because they specifically added that to knock things out of the way of the truck, but the truck is actually easily derailed if anything goes in front of it. Once the truck was fortified, we started what we thought was a simple escort mission. It was not a simple escort mission. At first, it started to get really tense when we were sandwiched between tons of enemies spawning in the area, exhausting us of supplies. But then the mission just kept going, and going, and going, and we started to wonder where the heck this man was driving to. We genuinely did not know what we had signed up for here. In the chaos, Turbo Nacho got left behind, while Emiko and I were trapped inside a church. Emiko could see a big robot in the distance that didn't exist, but apparently was shooting missiles at him. I don't see a robot. There's no robot there. You were literally shooting this guy just now.
Oh yeah, he can kill me. He's there for me.
Once we cleared the church, the escort continued and into even more dangerous territory. The truck was destroyed, and we were worried we'd have to redo the whole escort mission from the beginning. But thankfully, the game let us continue from the last checkpoint at the church. Interestingly enough, the destroyed truck didn't despawn, while the new truck drove up from behind. Let's go!
Taking it with him.
He's taking it when he's reviewing off the road. When we finally get to our destination, a million miles away from the starting point, there's this one moment that happens in the plot where the truck driver wants to drive into the enemy base to explode everything, even if it costs him his own life. Only the explosion doesn't really blow up the truck, so it looks like he's perfectly fine. After that, the credits rolled, which was surprising because we started this mission thinking it was going to be a quick escort, not an expedition across the entire map to bomb a stronghold and then conclude the plot. I ain't done with this game yet. I've only explored this much of the map, and there's all this up here I ain't even seen yet. And there's other main missions I have yet to complete. What do you mean there's credits? I ain't done with this yet. I'll be back for sure. It's too early to stop here.